listening to Wrestling Headline News. News from WWE, TNA, MMA, UFC, and many more. Exclusively by your host, Bad Guy Brandon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brandon Thompson Wrestling Headline News, exclusively by your host, Bad Guy Brandon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know today has been a slow day either for you, for me, and for the rest of the world. Now, we have finally, WTTV YouTube host Owen Rise. He is here today to talk about a few certain things about wrestling news also. So, we also got Ryback shoots on CM Punk, and right now we're going to talk about Kurt Angle reveals his pro wrestling future. Will he return to WWE or TNA? And also he reacts to CM Punk comments, Triple H, and more. Vince Russo interviewed Kurt Angle on a podcast, The Swerve, this week, available on www.pyroandballyhoo.com, plus a 90-minute bonus video interview offered to members of the VIP section. Currently and until Friday this week, you can join Vince Russo's VIP section, The Brand, for just $3.95 monthly for life by using the discount code Swerve Live. Okay, that's all together, all capital, Swerve Live. You can use that code, get that amazing discount. The extended video interview with Kurt Angle is available, but for more details on everything that's included in the VIP section, visit www.pyroandballyhoo.com/VIP. At the end of this week's show, Russo said that Kurt Angle direct messaged him on Twitter, allowing Russo to announce that he will be going back to TNA. Wow. Now for the full recap of the Swerve this week. Vince Russo open and shoot. Russo talked about Raw and wondered why Vince McMahon was announced to be on the show 1 hour into the show instead of at the beginning. He wasn't happy with Vince McMahon only talking about the interview he was going to do with Austin after Raw and not promoting anything on the show. So Russo began to talk about the McMahon and Austin interview. He says, it was PR. What is the dissect about? What is there to dissect about? Austin asked the right questions and did a phenomenal job. McMahon decided to end the Undertaker streak. Whoop-de-doo. McMahon said nothing. So, Kurt Angle interview taped on Sunday. Russo tells a story, says Angle and Sting were working on their match the entire week. Then Hulk Hogan wanted to chime in on a match. Russo was pissed that he felt Sting and Angle were being disrespected by Hogan. Hogan shows up at 5 p.m., sits down in the room. Sting and Angle are polite and lay out the match they were discussing. Hogan says, that doesn't work for me, brother. Russo says he is pissed off at this point that Russo got up and walked out of the meeting. Russo asks how Angle keeps his cool. Also, now we get into the Angle interview on the Sting match and the Hulk Hogan situation. Angle says, I don't have much to say about that day. I love Terry. I love Hulk. I think he was trying to help. Sting and I know what we were going to do. If Sting and I are going to put out a 5-star match that everyone expected us to, I don't think Hogan needed to say anything. I know the company put him in charge. I can't blame Hogan for that. I think Hogan should have said, what do you want to do? He didn't. But I love Hogan. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Russo felt Sting and Angle were disrespected as they sat around and waited all day for Hogan to come in so he can chime in. Angle on what he's looking for that would lead him towards a wrestling company rather he is going to WWE or TNA. Angle states, most importantly, the rights interest interests. At this point in my career, I can't really do a full-time schedule. I need to look at how they want to take care of me, what they want to do with me. What's important to them should be important to me, and everything I do has meaning. Most important is the vested interest. Secondly, making sure I keep my life straight and that I spend time with my family. Thirdly is basically financial situation. It's not that I'm in dire need of money. Thank God I made a lot in this business. At the same time, the amount of money speaks volumes with what they want to do with you and how they want to utilize you. Is the money important for a financial standpoint? No. Is it important on how important you are to the company? Yes. I want to make sure it's a best suit for me. So, yeah, and you can read the rest of the article right here in the description box. I will be putting it in a sticky note so I won't forget. Let's see if I can find the sticky note so I remember to put it in the description box for y'all to read. But right now, we just don't have that much time. Don't have that much time. Okay, so alright, so let's get on to next news. Is arrest warrant issued for Heath Slater. Now this is kind of crazy. I can only imagine to what the arrest warrant is. I think it's a DUI. I don't know. I don't know. Probably something happened, obviously. But ProWrestling.net is reporting that according to Fox 5 Television in Atlanta police have issued an arrest warrant for WWE star Heath Slater, real name Heath Miller, over an incident which allegedly took place at WrestleMania 27 after party in 2011. The report notes Corin Oliver, who was working security at the after party, is accusing Slater of putting her in a chokehold and attempting to get her into an elevator with the intent of dragging her back to his room at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta. Oliver claims the alleged attack caused damage to 5 vertebrae in her back. Wow. Oliver says she filed a complaint with her supervisor, but it took 3 months for her to file a police report. Her explanation for waiting so long is that she was waiting for her company, ally Barton Securities, to file the police report, and they never did. Jerry McDevitt, an attorney for WWE, noted Oliver filed the charges against Slater personally and not against WWE. Well, yeah, Vince McMahon made sure about that because he already dealing with some shit against CM Punk. Speaking of CM Punk, why didn't Stone Cold speak about the medical stuff with CM Punk? Why didn't it? Big backstage update on WWE locker room reactions to CM Punk speaking out. Plus, just my overall thoughts on Punk and the Austin McMahon interview. As previously reported, CM Punk's appearance on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast did not sit well with higher-ups in WWE, as Triple H reported wanted to kill Punk after he received word of the interview, and Vince McMahon was upset as well. McMahon, as seen on Steve Austin's podcast, claimed he did not listen to the interview, but he was reportedly still pretty upset with Punk speaking his mind as he did. According to the Wrestling Observer, while most of the WWE locker room loved some of the things Punk had to say on the podcast, the entire interview was not met with universal praise. Yet, everyone except for Brian Road Dogg James and Ryback publicly kept quiet and did not react to Punk comments. It said many WWE talents felt the interview came off as sour grapes, as Punk shouldn't be complaining about the way he has been booked at WrestleMania 30 when he was booked better than all but a few talents on the WWE roster. Having to put over The Rock, Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker is a position which many in the WWE locker room would have loved to be in. Punk was specifically booked to face Triple H at WrestleMania 30, and several talents in the locker room felt Punk came off bad complaining about being in that type of creative position, as the match would have been a top bout and given plenty of TV time leading up to the pay-per-view. While CM Punk's description of his time in WWE might have been very similar to the way others would have described their experience and the company, that the feeling is Punk made much more money than those performers. So many people admired a talent of his stature speaking his mind publicly. In the end, most of the WWE locker room knew that whether or not they agreed with what Punk had to say, it would have been career suicide to speak out publicly. Okay? So, I just think that maybe, I don't know. Maybe this even affected my choice in even going to WWE, because I want to speak publicly on what I'm going through if I'm in my career choice. And I'm going through a bad day at work. If somebody tells me, "Oh, how was work?" I'm going to tell them how was work. I am not going to sugarcoat anything. I am not going to basically put it off to the side. I am going to tell the truth. Work was hard. It was stressful. This happened. That happened. And so on and so forth. Okay? CM Punk spoke publicly. Okay? Career suicide, my ass. He's not in WWE no more. He's not in Ring of Honor. He's not in TNA. He's not in nowhere. He is what he is. And he is out of wrestling. Okay? So if he wanted to speak on his old job, let him speak on his old job. Whether they like it or not, he's just telling the truth. Okay? And I would have done the same thing that CM Punk did. I have no regards. I have no problem with what he said. None whatsoever. I had no problem at all. No problem. Okay, so Dolph Ziggler talks the current state, career state, that is. The significance of being a sole survivor, what constitutes a main eventer, and more. WWE.com has published... Hold up. Sorry about that, folks. My arm just really yanked me. WWE.com has published a new interview with Dolph Ziggler, who spoke on a number of topics, including the current state of his career, his performance at Survivor Series, and much more. And the interview highlights I'm about to tell. Okay, on the significance of being the sole survivor at Survivor Series, Dolph Ziggler stated this: career-wise, you don't think every match is big for your career, but with this one, I thought if I could pull it off, I can go to another level. I went. This has to happen. This has to be perfect. This has to be done just right. I was nervous every step, because there were several big steps. We got lucky, combined with a lot of professional superstars who are really good at their jobs. What does it take for a WWE superstar to solidify himself as a main eventer? Dolph Ziggler states proudly, there are a million factors, Ziggler said. You could have every gift there is known to man, and you could be that guy who is 6'7" is somehow like me in every way, only taller. But there has to be a connection. There is a glass ceiling for everybody until you find a way to get that connection that Cena has. Nobody works harder than me in the ring. No one steals the show more often. And no one gets better reactions for a guy who's not even part of huge storylines, Dolph said. People can pick and choose what they want out of it, but I feel like I'm a modern day renaissance man of